Welcome to this week's WTOL 11 Weather Impact. I'm Meteorologist Matt Willoughby, and of course, it is the start of fall. So what does that mean? Yeah, we are breaking down all things fall and exactly why do leaves change colors during the fall months. So of course, we have to really break down the science for this to really understand why don't they change throughout all the seasons, but specifically those fall months. So it all starts with chlorophyll. When those colors and at least that cooler weather in trees breaks down, that chlorophyll breaks down those trees and likely leaving other chemicals that causes those leaves to in fact change color. So you may see those greens still into the trees, but also those yellows, oranges, and reds really give that vibrant color to those trees and those beautiful fall feeling and smells you do see during those fall months. So of course, with those brighter colors, more likely when a late summer is dry and autumn has those fall days where they're sunny and those cooler nights as well. But those cooler nights are really key parts of that. So when we talk about chlorophyll, it makes sugar from plants using water and sun, and it's produced really during those growing seasons and obscured for other colors during those warmer days. But hey, when we talk about chlorophyll even more, a warm start to fall, well, those leaves may be seeing that pigment leaves, but that drought and heat, really not a good recipe for those leaves to change those vibrant, great colors. So when we talk about those fall nights affecting fall color, well, if you do see those warmer nights, you typically see an example like this, where it's a more dull orange than a more vibrant orange. But if you really get those cooler nights that we all love sometimes during those fall, at least fall months, well, that's when you see those cool nights and really enhanced colors. So those bright, vibrant, and deep oranges and also those reds and yellows is really the perfect recipe for some great fall colors. So when we break this down a little bit more, we're talking about earlier, well, that drought and heat stress, something we've actually dealt with throughout Northwest Ohio and pretty much all across the state. That's when we start to see that pigment and at least a little bit of those leaves changing a little earlier, which is not necessarily a good thing. And of course, earlier summer warming as well, we've definitely had that heat wave and at least storm damage. Really didn't have that, but some of those recipes we did have, in fact, resulted in some of those leaves changing a little earlier. But what about later? Typically when you see those warmer fall nights, warmer Octobers, and even low wind speeds, that's when you'll see those later peak colors as you go throughout those Octobers and even into November. So when we talk about the fall weather impacts, if you see those cooler conditions, well, you see more vibrant colors on those sunny and crisp cooler days, kind of like what we were seeing this past week. Yeah, it's going to be a perfect recipe for it. But if you have warmer conditions, really going to take a little bit longer for those leaves to start going and start changing those colors, as it'll be a little bit bleak with those colors and often muted colors for at least those leaves out there as you go through October and November. When we talk about wetter versus drier, typically you like those rainy days, but not too much rain will really start to mute those colors a little bit. So if you get some rain, but not too much, that'll be a great recipe for it. But if you got dry conditions, kind of like what we are seeing with those drought conditions for at least several weeks now, really not going to see much colors really stick out across our area. Now, we talk about those average peak colors. We're right around the corner. Of course, we're starting off October finally. We're not likely to see that peak, at least as we go throughout the mid to late October months. So get ready. It is on its way. But of course, with that, we're going to localize this a little bit. We have a very special guest, at least telling you throughout all the metro parks, if you're in Toledo, where to find the best fall foliage and, of course, some of those trails that you could see as we go throughout the next couple of weeks. Check it out.
In any year, you want to look for the first fall colors along the edges of the woods, the edges of the streams, like the Maumee River here. That's where you're going to see the first colors. We're already seeing the sumac, the sassafras, vines like poison ivy are really pretty this time of year. Two parks I'd highly recommend would be Pearson Metro Park in Oregon in the eastern part of the county and Secor Metro Park in the western end of the county. Both have a nice mix of trees.
And we would like to thank Scott Carpenter from Metro Parks Toledo for joining us and helping us at least tell us where the best spots are, at least to see that fall foliage. So don't wait till it is peak. At least get out there and enjoy it while we are leading up to peak. That's truly going to be one of the greatest times when you have those cooler evenings and, of course, those crisp days ahead to see that fall foliage. So kind of talking about the little climate impacts we are seeing over the last several years. So as far as warming fall nights, we are seeing about a 4 to 5 degree increase during those fall nights. Really not a good thing when we talk about those fall colors and really needing those cooler nights to get those great vibrant colors we typically see around this time of year. So when we talk about those fall color impacts this year, well, those drought conditions have surely impacted those vibrant colors, but hopefully we can catch up and get some more rain showers as we go throughout the month of October. And we also did see some above average temperatures throughout September. Or we're finally starting to cool down a little bit, so hopefully that will play a role in us catching up with those fall colors and seeing really those vibrant reds, yellows, and oranges we all love to see. And of course, lastly, those cooler days in October will in fact help us see those vibrant colors right on time, which typically is around mid-October and even late October for those fall peak colors. So if you're driving around, walking around the metro parks, yeah, you'll start to see some color changes as we go throughout the next couple of weeks, but really gonna at least spur into the moment with some great colors as we go towards the later of October. That's pretty much an explainer of why we see those colors change around this time of year and when you can see those great colors coming up as we go throughout the next couple of weeks. I'm Meteorologist Matt Willoughby. Thanks for watching this week's WTOL 11 Weather Impact. Thanks for watching.